This is TWiT.
Samsung, we've talked on the show in the past that recently anyways, especially with the S21 series and the Ultra getting the S Pen, that there were rumors and murmurings that Samsung was possibly going to be doing away with the Note, or at least not releasing a Note this year. Samsung has stated officially that the chip shortage could mean no Note released this year. They said this in a call to shareholders. They said that they do intend to release a Note phone, a Note device next year, or at least they mentioned that in that same call. Though, like I said, they already brought the S Pen to the S21 Ultra. That was part of their commitment, and they mentioned this, I can't remember how long ago, to quote, bring some of the most beloved features of the Galaxy Note to more device categories in 2021. So it's really taking the secret sauce of the Note and spreading it into other devices. Why would Samsung want to do that? Well, they have this other flagship category. And what it's starting to look like is Samsung suddenly found itself in a position where it has the S20 series, or the S series of flagships, and then it has the Note series of flagships, and then now it has the foldable series of flagships. So suddenly they have 3 flagship families. And Samsung's going, okay, maybe this is too many flagships to release in a given year and give consumers something to focus on when they want our top tier devices. From that angle, it makes a whole lot of sense for the Note series features to roll into the S series, and then the foldable devices to be the other flagship area for them to focus on the latter part of the year. And that kind of seems where we're going. The Nikkei Asia reported that Samsung is planning on increasing its production of its folding lineup and making that its kind of other focus. So
I don't want to say I called it. I don't want to say, but on this show several years ago, I said foldables were going to change everything, and it just took a little. It's taking a little longer than I initially hoped for.
Yeah.
But it appears as if Samsung is on the foldable train. So
yeah, oh yeah, heck yeah. Well, and they've been doing foldables really well. Like they've done a really great job with their foldable approach, and their devices are desirable. And you have to imagine if Samsung puts its efforts behind foldables the way it did with the Note series and everything, in a couple of years, these foldables are going to be way more interesting than they are even right now. It gives them an avenue to explore that is kind of counter to this thing that's been bubbling up the last 3, 4, 5 years, where it's like, okay, the industry is stagnant. There's nothing really that exciting about smartphones anymore. Now Samsung's like, oh, well, we have the exciting thing. It's the foldables. We do it well. Let's see what happens when we put all of our attention in there. And 2 or 3 years down the line, we continue to be kind of the industry leader in that, and then some. And that seems to be what they're focusing on.
This is a huge marketing ploy, and it's going to work really well in their favor. Did you check their stock, by the way? Like, did it go up when this announcement went out? Because I feel like people would be, their investors or whatever, would be really, really behind this to just try and see how far they can take this.
So when was this? This was last week, the 17th.
This was March 17th. So it was on St. Patty. I guess it would. Yeah, it would still be the 17th. Even
God, it looks like
the
Asian
stock exchange
down since then.
Oh, well,
I mean,
whatever.
It may have gone up with the announcement and then came down.
Well, but there's too much in their business. There's too much in their business. Something could happen in washing machines. That's
true.
Yeah,
that's a good
You're
point.
right. You're right. Big washing machine. But regardless, it's great. It's great marketing, because even if they do the sales don't really take off, they can always say that they were the first ones to really bring it to the forefront. And from now on, every single Samsung keynote will start with Samsung, the global leader in foldables.
Yes. And
because of the technicalities of that marketing slogan. So really, it's a genius move.
Yes.
And I'd expect nothing less from the giant conglomerate that is
the giant S in the sky.
I mean, they could be their own country. That's how big they are.
I mean,
GDP, right?
I would love to visit Samsung Island. I think that would be a very interesting experience. Probably akin to the Super Mario World they're building in Japan, Universal Studios Japan.
You'd be like a card carrying, like you'd be an expat. You'd be like welcomed as a dual citizenship.
True.
U.S.
Yes,
and
I could
Samsung.
work. I could work overseas, akin to the Disney program. I could go.
It's actually funny though, because there's a cyberpunk sci-fi futurism novel which I'm sure has been written. I'm sure Cory Doctorow has done something like this or whatever. But that is where we no longer have countries or borders, but allegiances to corporations and like.
Oh my goodness.
We're one step closer to that when the pandemic hit and we didn't have baseball, and me and Tom Merritt and a whole bunch of other people we flocked to ESPN to watch the South Korea baseball league, only to discover that all the teams were not based in cities, they were based with companies. So there was the Samsung Tigers.
Who did you cheer for? Who did you cheer for, Ron?
I didn't watch nearly enough to align with any. Just every now and then you just want to see like an inning of baseball. I'm like, I'll just watch whoever. But it was fascinating to see that yes, they're not city based. They're corporate sponsor based or company based. So
interesting.
Yep. So we would be citizens of Google in that world. So except Flo would be a citizen of Samsung.
I'm sure here in California, I feel like we'd be citizens of Google. So they already own like.
I was gonna say you already are.
They already own part of San Jose. So
yeah.
And introducing from California, the Google Podcasters. Oh, that's us.
Well done.